Yeah, go ahead. Sanna.
Uh, Guruji, on this 13th shloka, I understand that Krishna is trying to or I think Krishna is trying to portray this in a kind of a negative light. But isn't this the practical reality? Without doing this, you can't meaningfully live life. I mean, in today's world, if you don't do this, you're not going to have a peaceful life at all.
Yeah, correct.
I'm
That's why
conflicted by that.
right. So that's correct. So you have to have some basic planning and budgeting and everything must be there. But if there's nothing else, there's no Daivi Sampat, then this becomes Asuri Sampat. If it is not backed up by Daivi Sampat, then this becomes a paranoia, and it can, instead of helping us, it'll actually anxiety. It will give us only anxiety. That's what he's saying.
Okay, so basically, you're saying it should not be exclusive focus on wealth, but wealth should just be something you need to do, like eating. You have to eat to take care of the body, like that, you have to accumulate some wealth to take care of your life, and that should be the level of focus. Is that how I should interpret it?
Right, obviously. So if a person is totally penniless, that person has to focus on pennies only. Because that person has to focus on a job. What job should I get? I must get a job. I must get a job with a salary that's maintainable. All this person. So that person has to stay focused on that. Okay.
Okay,
But once
thank you.
once once the livelihood is set, then if I continue to go that path, then going to come at my detriment. Yeah. So that's the way to look at it. Yeah, Haraprasad, go ahead.
Hear me?
I could hear you, but your audio is going between switching. Okay, there we go.
Okay. This question is really directed to Narayan Mahodaya. The way he calls people is
Uh, Jaykumarji, in this chapter, Krishna explains all the not so good characters, all the bad characters of a human being. He also includes uh, saving the money for future, maybe for ourselves or for good deeds. Is it something as long as you are with honestly? Is Krishna saying that don't save the money, don't expect anything back? Say, for example, you invest $1 million, you expect something legally, you will get the money for the living expenses. Is it something wrong to do that?
Daivi Sampat, Asuri Sampat. So, if you find somebody who's always talking about money, what will you tell him? What will you tell him?
The
You listen.
financial consultant always talks about the money.
No, 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 no. No, we need to be practical here. We are not talking about financial concern. We're talking about somebody who is having conversation. And every time you meet the person, he's talking only about real estate and some stocks and some this and so constantly. No, how's your family? How's your children? Nothing. The topic doesn't arise at all. What will you do? You will slowly walk away from that person because that person is no longer interesting to you. You don't judge a person, but you say this is nothing. This is guy is a money person. You got to say that. That's what we're talking. Is your life governed only by money or not? If your life is only governed by money, we need everything. We need oxygen, we need food, we need clothing, we need shelter, we need basic basic needs are all there for which artha is required. But if a person is driven purely by artha only, that's what he's talking. That is asuri sampat because that person is going to destroy himself as well as the family as well as the society also.
He's not telling that don't earn the money, don't save the money, don't help, don't take care of your responsibility. None of them is not telling. Telling that don't think about the money all the time. Right?
He is saying that people who are Asuri Sampath only think about money all the time.
Oh, that makes sense. Yes.
And you're right. So somebody who has no money and has to protect a family has to think about money all the time. Only then he can make something out of his life. His wife will kick him out. I said, go get something. You've got
See,
3 children and you got to get something. This is not enough. Okay, that guy has to think about money all the time. Means what? He has to make sure he supports a family and he has to do what needs to be done. So if he has to think about money all the time, he must think about money all the time for the right reasons. For the
right
right
reason.
reasons.
So
Because that guy
usually
has
when
Daivi Sampath is there backing. So Daivi Sampath is backing means then the money you go after will bless you.
proper planning is also very important. When we are all growing up 50 years ago, and whether we are wherever we are there, and then at the end of the day, important is to see how dad is working hard to bring the food on the table to feed the children. Now, economy is changed, and then a lot more people are doing good, thank God. But still, if you are keep on thinking only the money, that is bad, right? That's what he's telling. But to meet the basic needs, one should have enough resources. There is nothing wrong in him saving some money, right?
Correct. Correct. Even a sannyasi
Thank,
needs basics. Basic needs are there even for a sannyasi.
yes.
Limited needs, but still needs are there. Needs will be there. Without to sustain the body, some things are needed. Minimums are needed. And so emphasis, how much emphasis shall we put in the pursuit of artha and kam? This is the question each of us has to ask. The more I put emphasis on artha and kama, the less it's going to be on dharma and even less on moksha. So if moksha is my goal, then I have to reorganize my priorities. A massive reorganization is required.
Once security is there, then it is easy to reorganize.
Correct.
That basic security is very important in the life. And once you have it there, we can reorganize. And there is nothing wrong in structured life. And then at the same time, all of our classmates are here or beyond this one. They want to attain the moksha and they want to be in the satsang. Then we're all doing the right thing. And then we are not thinking only about the money. Money is a part of the life, not our life.
Yeah. So sattva guna pradhana. So use the money for the right means and gain the money by the right means and over and beyond if still assets are there can be used for the right purposes and so one's life can be um, led in a very meaningful way. And Pancha Mahayajna is there which requires money, right? Helping people requires money, helping animals requires money, helping the environment requires money. We have to spend time, we have to spend money. We just did we donated 20,000 rupees for, there's a project going on in Coimbatore to uh, to grow trees. To grow trees, that's it. And so there's empty land, and then there is an organization that's growing trees. And then growing means simply not taking care of them also. And so it requires uh, some funds. So we started that last 2 years ago. We did it. And now I'm looking for somebody can uh, who can grow this ecology initiative. college. It becomes an important thing. It is important, always been important. But within our trust itself, I want to have an ecology kind of initiative where people can contribute their thoughts and identify opportunities where, in India, for example, where these things are needed. Good organizations, individuals are working. I want to support those kinds of people also. So, yeah, it requires money, no doubt. Without money, you can't do any of these things. So we have to earn the money and use it for the right.
Thank you.
So here, a kama bhoga. This guy's money is for kama and bhoga, pure bhoga, and therefore it becomes asuri sampat.
Thank you, Jeff. Very
Thank you.
nice.
It is said that one has to earn till death for a good purpose.
Your voice is breaking. Can you repeat it again?
It is said that one has to earn wherever possible to the right means till death.
One must earn, you're saying, till death.
Yeah, till death. If it
Yeah.
is if it is possible. That is what Yajnavalkya did.
Right, right. So physical limitations will come. And so, to the extent possible, one contributes. Earn means contributing to society. And yeah, you're right. Vaidya, go ahead.
Jaykumarji, one key thing I think is, which is said in verse 12, it says that it's basically against the illegal accumulation or illegitimate accumulation, right?
Anyayena,
Right.
nyayena artha sanchayam.
Correct.
Illegal accumulation. See, the illegality will come. Adharma will come. Once kama
Yes.
takes over, adharma
Yeah.
is not far behind.
Yeah.
Okay? Dharma is not far behind.
Right.
Yeah, but if you take that shloka, idam adya maya labdham, if you take it by itself, okay, by itself, if you take, there the dharma part is not there. Correct? There is no,
Where you're saying?
no. If you take the idam labdham, the number 13.
Uh-huh. Idam labdam, dharma is not mentioned.
Yeah, if you take that shloka just by itself, there is no dharma mentioned there.
Right.
But you can bring in adharma from the previous one.
Yes.
Yeah. If you don't bring in adharma, then what? Then we have to say, hey, if the thinking has to go beyond just this much, beyond this kind of thinking.
Yeah.
But you bring in adharma, that is better. It's easier to bring in adharma. And then say, because this kama upabhoga paramaha are going to transgress that for sure. Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So by this the verse 12, most of our politicians, they're all illegitimately accumulating wealth, right? Starting from Rahul Gandhi and all those Robert Vadra and all those guys, not to mention the ruling family of Tamil Nadu. So it's all Asuri Sampad, all Asuras.
Exactly. Asura. Asura means say, Asura doesn't mean they must have two horns and then two canine teeth and all that protruding. No, that's not Asura. Sushuramante iti Asuraha. They're driven by Ragadveshas and they're blinded. Dharma is They're blinded. Their sense of dharma is blinded completely. Yeah. They're buying votes from people. In India, that still goes on in many states. Anyway, yeah, it's there. It's there in every society. You'll have that. You'll have this kind of mindset. And so this teaching is universal. That's why, because anybody can appreciate what Krishna is.
Jaykumarji, you were talking about the advertisement of a bridegroom for a Devi Sampati, the person who possesses Devi Sampat. First of all, the person who possesses Devi Sampat, he will not advertise. He is Adamba Manaha, Na Atimanitaha. Kalu. So he won't advertise himself that I possess all these Devi gunas and I seek. And it is others who discover him as he is a Devi Sampati person, right?
Yes.
And one more thing, as you were telling, Krishna started with the second chapter, Ashochan, Anvashocastvam, and he talks about Dharma, Visesha Dharmas, and he talks about Satyam and Mithya. And so much philosophy Jada has second chapter mein to frighten Arjuna that you should fight the war. And then he talks about Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and then he comes about Chetram, Chetraknya. After all these, this is like a simple preliminary. We tell the children, first we coax them, Aap ye kha lo, I will give you this, look at the other person, look at the other person. Like we coax the child to get the thing what we want to be done by the child. For me, this resembles second chapter is so loaded with so much, and this 16th chapter is देखो अगर you if you don't do this डर जाए डराना that person will take away, that will come and hit you, you will get this disease. Like that, it is too preliminary and elementary. Like a parent, a mother coaxes a child. So that is what it resembles to me when I look at all the chapters.
Yeah. So it ought to be elementary. Let's put it that way. If it was elementary, then there would not be asuras in society. So it looks like it is not elementary. It looks like it has to be told periodically. That's what it means. So it's not. That's why they say it's common sense. Well, it's common sense, but it is not common sense. If it was common sense, then we wouldn't be talking about it.
That is why people say this chapter should be taught first. So one who can identify their gunas and then what predominates in them, they can tone down, they can easily identify dharma and adharma,
Yeah. So generally, we believe that those who sign up for Bhagavad Gita courses will don't need to be told all these things. That's what you mean when you said elementary, right? And so yeah, for us it's elementary. Still, even for us, we need to know. Daivi Sampat is important because Moksha Marga is such that I have to constantly hone myself. And I can never say this is enough. I can never say this is enough. I can never say I'm very compassionate. No, you can't say. You can always be more compassionate. There's no end to it. So periodically it's good to hear these things. Thank you, Rukmini. Anuradha ji, go ahead.
I was saying that in Upanishad days, like, way back, they didn't have any preliminary exams that, okay, let me see where you are. And the way I was told that the Upanishad always starts, if you watch any Upanishads, like Kena Upanishad and all that, Prashna, so it all starts with the Ganam, the highest, and then the gurus, with the questions that the Shishya ask, they figure out, okay, so you don't understand that, I'm coming down. So Jnana Yoga, he comes down to Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga to, like all the others, because of the questions that Arjuna was asking. And these two chapters, the 16th and 17th, Paramarthanandaji says that this is really for sadhana chatushtaya.
Correct. And that's why Bhagavad Gita is a good text for the current times. Current times when we are not necessarily exposed to Shastra. We're all taught in schools and colleges. We end up studying stuff which are meant for pure survival and not really meant to, see us as a whole person. And that thing is not taught. And therefore, Bhagavad Gita serves as a good reminder of all the things that are needed, including values. Values also, adhikaritvam. Once adhikaritvam is there, values also gone. Amanitvadi is gone.
Yeah.
And so, it's a good review of what all the do's and don'ts and what it means, what kind of people can be there. And at any given time, I can also become an asura. There is no guarantee that I won't become an asura. I means a person who's studying Shastra will not become an asura. There is no guarantee. Because Krishna said that earlier also. Jnani also has to be careful. Otherwise, so it's good to remind ourselves periodically. Nothing wrong with it. So, but yeah, so sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. So you can just leaf through these things. All shloka by shloka, go fast and then review. This is what we're doing here. Anything else? Okay, so we'll pause with that. Chat windows, any points? Okay, so Vijay Menon says money should be in the bank or in the pocket, but not in the mind. Oh, profound. Oh boy, you people are all very. Okay, noted. All right.
So, Jayakumarji, one last comment. In Tamil Nadu, the election will be happened before we meet again.
Yeah.
Will have happened.
And is the
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasha Hastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanathaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.